Fort Frye up 1-0 after an inning. Lady Cats changed that real quick. Zoe Smithberger steals whole. Waterford on the board in the third, and they wouldn't stop there. Gracie Morris rips a single through the left side. Maddie Hinton scores. Cats on top. More damage in the third. Kaylee McCutcheon grounds one to third. Shaylee Hayes will score, and McCutcheon safe at first. Christy Willis going to put an end to it on the mound with the strikeout, but Waterford does the damage there, leading 3-1. The Cats bats would stay hot. This time it's Caitlin Ransom. Liner into center, gets by the outfield and to the fence. She is on board with a double. But Ellie Casto on in relief ends the threat right there. A strikeout to retire the side. Waterford right back at it though in the fifth. Kaylee McCutcheon again with a nice swing. Shaylee Hayes able to walk on home, and that'll be an RBI single. Waterford goes up 4-1. Lady Cadets finally get the motor cranking in the bottom of the sixth. Faith Treadway into left field. J.C. Spur gets held up at third, but Treadway doesn't stop, so she makes the turn at second, trucking for third, has to hit the brakes and reverse it back to second, but she's in safely. Lexi Hanschumacher gonna cash in, grounder to the right side to score both of those runners. Now just a one-run game, and that ignited the real fireworks. Madeline Morgansterns puts the barrel on one, and it is gone right into the lap of a fan sitting outside the fence. A two-run shot to give Fort Frye the lead late. Let's go to the top of the seventh, and this the final out. Ground ball to Ella Dowler, and that'll do it. Fort Frye gets the senior night rivalry win 5-4.